Look at Genos walking Rover. One Punch Man chapter 197, the third redraw here. Couple minor changes and some pretty cool art in this chapter of Blast and a little bit more information on the ninjas. And for the cover page, you guessed it, this guy Murata, man, he literally just cannot help himself. Like, he just has to have a female in every chapter, and if she doesn't belong in the chapter, she's going on the cover. You know this guy, man, he just literally can't stop. Somebody please count the number of Fubuki chapter covers we have for me and leave it in the comments below. Mastar. I'm also making this Saitama vs. God fan film that will be out in a month or two, but you can see an early viewing on my Patreon, as well as download all of Anime War and all of Demon Rush in 4K with no ads. Road to 1,000 patrons, patreon.com/mastarmedia. So we're going to start off the chapter with Flashy Flash. It appears that he's figured something out in correlation to God, that man, and Sonic, and he and Blast are going to have a little bit of dialogue before Flash essentially just dips out, and Blast is going to go talk to Sitch about the situation. So Flash tells to Blast, he says, "Give my regards to that man, whoever he was when he was human," meaning that Flash has never seen Empty Void in his human form, but we know that he was Blast's partner when he was human. So Genos pops his head in through this like hatch in the wall. It's freaking hilarious. Saitama's thinking about food, and Genos just tells Blast like, "Oh, I'm excited to meet you. If you have any problems, feel free to talk to Saitama at any time." And Blast is sweating. He's like, I'll think about it. I'm not really sure what he meant by that, but here we have Flash, and he is getting a note that is obviously from Sonic, and they're supposed to go meet up and have their little fight. And you can notice here that there's two little ninja notes in this chapter, and this is just a small detail, but it's kind of cute. They have these like little ninja seals on them. I just thought it was like a cool little detail. So Blast says that it's not surprising that Flash is figuring out what's going on because Blast told him about God, but he didn't want to get Flash involved in the fight because he's just not simply strong enough. And it appears that Sitch is a little worried about Flash having revenge intentions against Empty Void because, as we know from the previous drawing chapters, I guess they've been retconned, but Empty Void has this power to open this cave where God is being sealed. And Blast definitely has a lot of feelings for Empty Void. He says, "I don't want to make things worse for him if he becomes a human again, although I feel like Void would probably just scold me and tell me to stop acting gullible." Blast is like super unsure of himself here. Empty Void grew up in an organization similar to the Ninja Village, and everybody died except for Void. He was the only survivor. Same with Flash and Sonic. This is, typical, a fate that the ninjas are notorious for. Now, Sitch is talking about some sort of operation that Blast and Empty Void were a part of, and I'm not sure if they're going to change the story with Void again about how he got God's powers and everything like that, but it appears that they were going on some missions. Maybe one of those missions is when Blast lost Empty Void to God, but I guess we're going to find that out because now that he's revealed himself, Blast wants to take this opportunity to free him from God's control. He says the Ninja Village and Void are hidden. They have some sort of like ninja magic barrier that makes them invisible, and if Empty Void like disappears, Blast says, "I'll never be able to find him again." But he says he said he'll show up here. That man will be here as well. Something else that's a little bit strange, Blast shows Sitch this picture of an abandoned building, and he says he will show up here. That man will be here as well. And you'll notice that he has an earpiece where he hears that being said. And if we take a look back at this panel with Sonic, as he gets cornered by those ninjas, they're the ones who are saying that. So does that mean that Blast has Sonic bugged, or Sonic is wearing a wire for Blast or something like that? I guess that's what's happening. Blast probably has both Flash and Sonic bugged so that when that man arrives, Blast can show up. Okay, and this is new as well. Saitama leaves because he wants to go to Sonic's hideout. Now, is Sonic's hideout the abandoned building? I don't think so, because they're out in the forest right now. They meet at the end of the chapter, Flash and Sonic. Saitama's going to meet up with Sonic. He wants to beat him up because Sonic won't stop bothering him and keeps sending him these like ninja mails and stuff. And Saitama's saying guys with nothing better to do who end up just getting together to cause trouble and draw attention to themselves. ourselves. Since we know that an army of ninjas will go to Sonic's house, I'm going to go there and beat up Sonic along with any other ninjas that are around. And hopefully Sonic will finally stop bothering me. Yeah, Sonic, I don't think you want that smoke, bro. Saitama says maybe he just doesn't want to be alone. So he's picking up on the fact that Sonic is like lonely, I guess, and that's kind of why he puts on this whole front, is just because he's like lonely. I mean, that's the impression I get too, to be honest. And the final few panels we get are of Sonic and Flashy Flash finally meeting up again, or I shouldn't say finally, since it's like the third damn time, but they're gonna have their little sparring session, I guess. It looks like they're about to go ham. Sonic looks incredible in this chapter. Like, I don't know why Murata's just like, I'm gonna detail the living hell out of Sonic's like everything, and he just looks crazy good. I assume Empty Void or the ninjas are gonna come here. Hopefully we don't have to see Sonic and Flash fight all the ninjas again. I would really prefer Murata just jump straight into the Empty Void fight. Saitama straight up told us he's coming, so he's not going to some other place like I think the initial arc. He was going somewhere else. In this version, he's coming to look for Sonic. He wants to beat up Sonic, and that means he's gonna bump into Empty Void. And so I guess we'll have some Blast versus Empty Void, but it looks like Saitama is gonna be the one to take out Empty Void, I think. And as the chapter ends, Sonic does his tenfold funeral, and you see a little ninja feet, and that is the end of the chapter. A very short 16-page chapter. Most of it is just stuff we've read before, but all the groundwork is laid, so I'm like really wondering what Murata is going to do differently this time around. Hopefully we get a lot of those big, beautiful double-page spreads, and hopefully we get a lot of Blast versus Empty Void, or I would take a God Avatar Flashy Flash. I mean, there's a lot of stuff one and Murata could do here, but just get it right this time, guys. Please, for the love of God, do not redraw these chapters anymore. I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I know that a lot of the fan base is extremely disappointed and in a mode of despair because it's been like 2 years of the same arc and not too much has changed. But hopefully Murata figures it out this time. Otherwise, I don't really know what to tell the guy. He's just got to move forward. Like, I'll tell you this much. I've seen a lot of authors like redo their stuff over and over again. And I'll tell you this much from the fans' point of view, while it's appreciated, like fans would always, almost always, just prefer more new content. Even if like the old stuff could have been better. It's like, just make new stuff and make that stuff godly. You don't have to like redo everything. But we'll find out what happens in 2 weeks. I'm Mastar. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and check out my Patreon. Sign up at patreon.com/mastarmedia for the exclusive Omni God badge to support me and my family. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.